Welcome to the Eastern Shore Market Watch, brought to you by
Kamara and Company.
Let's take a look at the most recent activity in the Eastern Shore housing market, which includes these areas. The housing market was of at least two minds in March. Pending home sales and existing home prices were up quite sharply, and new home sales were up modestly. By contrast, inventory was flat and new home starts and permits both fell. The declines were at least partly due to bad weather, which probably also depressed job growth that came in much weaker than expected. That said, the recent weakness is probably short-lived, as it's likely due to a number of one-off events. As a result, expect economic growth in Q2 to be much stronger than it was in Q1. On the Eastern Shore, home purchase activity continued to significantly outpace last year's levels in March. New pending contracts increased 15% from last year. The 362 new pending sales exceeded the 5-year March average by 17%. Closed sales increased by 33% to 264 sales, the highest March level in 8 years. The sales tally was buoyed by a sharp increase in the foreclosed listings, which nearly doubled to 90 sales, the highest monthly total on record. Active inventory remains slightly lower than last year at this time. The 2,820 active listings were down just 1% from last March, and months of supply has dropped from 12.7 to 10.6 months. The 636 new listings added during the month were only 2% more than last March. Should sales gains continue to exceed listing gains, the Eastern Shore could slowly trend from a buyer's market to one of balance. At $185,000, the median sale price dropped 8% from last March. This drop was influenced by a rising proportion of foreclosures, which moved from a quarter of sales last March to more than a third of this month's total. The median price for foreclosures was $100,000 lower than the $225,000 median sale price for non-distressed sales. Half the homes were on the market for 96 days or less, 19 days lower than the median days on market, and the first March in 10 years to drop below the 100-day mark. With the sales gains seen in the first quarter of 2015, the spring season promises to be a very active housing market. Spring listings will take less time to sell than in the winter months, and sales pace and pricing levels will improve upon the marks seen in the first 3 months of the year. We are now entering the peak months of the calendar year. That's the Eastern Shore Market Watch for this month. Check back next month for the latest.